Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about GARRI or wheat, which is actually better for weight loss. This topic has been controversial online for some time, and I decided to hop on the trend because I have done a lot of research on this topic, and honestly a lot of people are still confused on the topic whether to take GARRI or wheat for weight loss, so stay tuned. So firstly, we are going to be talking about wheat. Wheat here has a lot of health benefits. It's nutrient dense, but also there are so many things about wheat that if you want to live a long and prosperous life in your old age, then you have to stay away from wheat. So wheat has been used to make wheat bread, wheat biscuits, cookies, and all of it is just to tell you, the manufacturers are trying to tell you that, hey, wheat is a healthy form of carbohydrate. You can take wheat and you won't add weight or you won't be at risk of diabetes. But this is actually not entirely true, because a lot of research has been made, and number one, let me just start with the downside of wheat. Okay, wheat actually has gluten, and gluten is a type of protein that causes inflammation. Now this inflammation affects our organs, leading to cancer, diabetes and arthritis, Parkinson, dementia, and a whole lot of diseases that aren't good with old age, so it's actually better to stay away from foods that are very high in gluten, foods that have that protein that causes a whole lot of damage to our system. Okay, and wheat is one of those foods. That's why I strongly advise against it, or like avoid it totally. Even if you would take it, then you should take it minimally. Take it very very little quantity. Another thing about wheat is that it is very high in glycemic index, very high in glycemic index, and it also is high in calories. Okay, we are going to talk about this later in the video, because I'm going to be comparing the glycemic index of GARRI and the calorie in GARRI also. So let's talk about GARRI. Now, GARRI is a very nutritious food also. It has a lot of health benefits. I'm going to be talking about them. First of all, GARRI is very high in fiber, which is a very important part of a diet. Also, GARRI is very easily digestible. It's also good for every food you're eating to be easily digestible. And also it is a very good source of probiotics due to the fact that it was fermented, and probiotics are very good for the gut and the digestive system in general. And most importantly, GARRI is free of gluten. So now let's quickly talk about glycemic index. So glycemic index is defined as how fast any meal you're taking, whether carbohydrate, protein or fat, increases your blood sugar level. Now anything you eat will definitely cause an increase, or some healthy foods don't actually cause a considerable spike in your insulin level. And once your insulin level is spiked, you tend to get hungry. Now the thing is, if your goal is weight loss or to monitor your blood sugar level, you need to start incorporating foods that don't lead to a whole lot of spike in your blood sugar level. Because once insulin levels are spiked, the first thing is it will block fat breakdown, so you'll be using the energy from the food, which is mostly carbohydrate. It blocks fat burning and also stimulates fat storage. Now this goes against your aim of losing weight. You instead add weight or add pounds, and also this ultimately leads to hunger. Okay, it leads to hunger because you want to eat more, you want to eat a lot of food, and then you gain the weight back. Okay, so now let's talk about the glycemic index in GARRI and wheat. If you look closely at this slide, you'll see that GARRI has a glycemic index of 82.5, and wheat, which is the last one, has a glycemic index of 95.28. That's like almost 10% higher. That's number one. So you can see that wheat has a very high glycemic index than GARRI. Also, for some reason, I wasn't able to get a screenshot of the research I did based on the calorie, but from the research I got, Garri has 290 kilocalories in 100 grams, and wheat shockingly has 350 calories in 100. Imagine, Garri is 290 kilocalories and wheat is 350 kilocalories. So you can see that both in glycemic index and in calorie content, wheat is far much higher. So it defeats the purpose. Okay, wheat is not good for weight loss, and it's also not so special for reducing blood sugar level. I hope everyone understands it now. And I know a lot of people will be shocked and they would want to ask their doctors, but this is it. This is research for you, and research is not going to lie, okay? This is research. Alright, so I want you to educate your family, educate the old people you know, educate someone who is suffering from diabetes, and also give the person advice. Also, so my final advice is for you to eat garri, but eat it in minimal quantity, okay? And I want you to do away with the mentality that wheat is the overall best food for people that want to lose weight and want to control their blood sugar level. Bye till when. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and comment. Bye.